Hey, what's up? It's a Monday. It's Dominic D'Angelo. I'm of Studio1Sports.com and Podcast Heat. I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, W Creative _ish. After what was an active, interesting weekend of wrestling, Robert? You got your BRCW shirt on, I see.
I've got my BRCW shirt. We had our birthday bash celebration last evening. For those folks who checked it out live, there's going to be a YouTube version of the show that's going to have everything kind of put together that I'm looking forward to everyone seeing. But what a night of professional wrestling it was here in Boca. I know at least one person walked by and said, "Hey, Rumor and Innuendo." I was like, yes. So appreciate the support. I even got I'm wearing the merch. I love. Actually, this is Rachel's shirt that I stole. So don't tell her.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, yes, we are live per usual. It's good to have everybody here. We're going to talk a little Elimination Chamber preview Raw tonight and talk a little bit of a Hall of Fame announcement, Robert. Did you happen to see this real quick?
Oh, did I see that Hall of Fame? And look, very rarely do you get a pro wrestling and lawsuit Hall of Fame induction. This I dare say, two men who I am huge fans of and equally despise because of my time in the WWE. But I'll let you take it away, Dom.
All right. Yeah, let's say hi to some folks in the chat here.
We got to say hello to the folks in the chat. Seriously.
Yeah. Cammy Star appropriately says, a very nice, very evil after morning. Yes, indeed. The wrestling old head adds. Good day, all. As predicted, the reveal of one in the crate turned out to be a demon, Conan O'Brien, that speaks like Mark Hamill's Joker. Devin Dre Owen says, hello, R&I. The chamber was fun. I felt bad for Danhausen with that crowd. Triple E joining in saying, what's up? And Caspian also tuning in. Welcome to the greatest YouTube show host of all time, Razor D'Angelo. All right, shout out to Razor. He knocked over my coffee, Robert.
Let's ban Caspian from the show forever.
Wow.
We're not standing for this. No, we're not going pro cat on this show.
Pro cat here. Pro cat.
How dare you? Elimination Chamber was this Sunday.
Yes, Saturday. It was Saturday.
Friday, we were not on. We had the special Raven, or let's call it Raven Part 1, because his Wi-Fi definitely died in the middle of it.
That's true. It did.
So hopefully, if you didn't catch that, go back and catch the audio or the video file up on the YouTube. Worth watching. A lot of interesting insights from the man they call Raven. And go check out his documentary Nevermore on Amazon Prime. Well worth the $4.99 rental.
Very much worth the $15 too if you want to just buy it outright.
I really should have, because there was stuff I wanted to go back and rewatch, and I didn't. I'm like, I got to go rent this thing a second time. I was quite frustrated. But my further frustration extended to Elimination Chamber. Thankfully, if you are a Working Stiff Patreon subscriber, myself and Scott Chaplin recorded our Elimination Chamber recap show, where you get to hear the word that I really want to be able to use on this show, but can't, because it is it's an F word, and it's not fornicate. But guys, speaking of fornicating, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. Talking about next level championship belt, gold-plated energy. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation for the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast incarnate, setting the gold standard for performance. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RUMOR. That's promo code RUMOR. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode. Rumor and Innuendo. Be thankful I didn't use the cat as the signal, as the transition.
Oh, yes.
That could have gotten bad in a hurry. Speaking of what got bad in a hurry, Elimination Chamber, Don.
Oh, Robert. Hailing from Chicago, Illinois, at the United Center, where the Bulls and the Blackhawks play, we had an Elimination Chamber to kick off the night. It was the Women's Elimination Chamber, and sure enough, as we predicted,
Panic. As I told you all on here, smart wrestling fans take a step back. They look at the whole board. There's knee-jerk reactions. There's long-term reactions. WWE, since Paul Levesque has taken over and Vince McMahon has been gone, we've seen them transition pretty successfully into long-term storyline lens. WWE Unreal kind of overexposed that to an extent. I think the product has suffered significantly because of it. But I had said, both here on this broadcast and on Working Stiff, that you will be able to tell from Elimination Chamber just how much of a panic mode WWE is in. And I would say 3 of the 4 outcomes on that show highlight massive, massive panic. The first was, if Tiffany Stratton didn't win and Rhea Ripley won, we are in trouble from a brand confidence standpoint. And Dom, who won the Women's Elimination Chamber match?
Well, that would be Miss Rhea Ripley.
Oh my. I knew we were in trouble on SmackDown when they took the tag titles off of Rhea and Io and put them on Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I was like, well, the only reason you're doing that is to free Rhea up to go take on Jade Cargill. The storyline match, and this is kind of the issue with WrestleMania, and I'm filibustering for a second. You'll have to forgive me now.
That's
the issue with WrestleMania is WrestleMania has gotten too big for regular WWE. The criticism going all the way back to the pipe bomb was that they rely on the part-timers, they're relying on the celebrities, they're not relying on your day in, day out bread and butter talent. And good, bad, or indifferent, WrestleMania has grown to such a degree that it is the single biggest needle mover of the year. They need to sell 2 nights of Allegiant Stadium out. It needs to be a massive global brand hit that TKO can then tout to the market. The narrative was Tiffany Stratton loses to Jade Cargill, goes away for a little bit, comes back, almost wins the Royal Rumble, wins the Elimination Chamber. We get Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill in your rematch. They pushed the insane panic button, which was, well, Rhea Ripley is the biggest star that we have in the WWE. Huge pops everywhere she goes. It makes zero narrative sense that we're going to get Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. It was never the plan because Rhea's on a completely different brand, engaged in a tag title storyline. And the match is going to be awful.
I mean, 2 physiques going, like, a visual will be amazing.
The problem. That's the issue. The problem is, on a poster, this is $1 million poster right there. It's $1 billion poster. You see Jade Cargill, you see Rhea Ripley, you're like, that is pro wrestling right there. That is like something out of a He-Man movie. You're like, I'm all in. The problem is Jade Cargill in ring is not at the level she needs to be at to deliver at WrestleMania. Her and Tiffany is a slightly lesser bar. That can be a 6-7 minute match, maybe even an 8-minute match. No one's going to lose sleep over it. But when you're putting Rhea in there, you really got to be careful that you're not damaging that Rhea Ripley brand. The comparison I gave when I talked about it with Scott was Rock and Austin WrestleMania 15 versus Rock and Austin WrestleMania 17. At 15, they rushed with The Rock because he was the hot hand.
Yep.
Go back and watch that match. It ain't great.
It's not good.
Jade and Rhea is maybe, if we're using Meltzer, we're using obviously the Scotty Meltzer flaming bowling pin rating. That's the only rating that we accept.
Only one that matters.
Scotty Meltzer, the superior Meltzer brother. He is, if you do not know him, a corporate magician who recorded a video for Dan St. Germain's birthday one year, and it was juggling flaming bowling pins.
What? I did not know that.
Oh, it is a thing of glory. But whenever we rate things, we rate them on the Scotty Meltzer flaming bowling pin scale. This may be a 2.5 Scotty Meltzer flaming bowling pin match. And that's not what you want out of a women's division that has really overachieved in the last year.
Right. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I love Jade Cargill and I love Rhea Ripley too at the same time, but it's just like panic kind of booking. You're setting it up. Probably should not be going on. Well, from a visual perspective, looks like a great WrestleMania poster, but geez, Robert. Yeah. I mean, it really shows how haphazardly this was thrown together. And
even more so, Cammy Star's comment here. First hour of Mania on Free-ish TV, the subscription numbers must be bad. So what they announced was first hour of WrestleMania is going to be on ESPN.
Correct. Yes.
Where I think the issue is getting to ESPN Unlimited is way too complicated.
Yeah. I
somehow get it. I don't quite know how or why I get it. So at first I thought I needed to, I had the triple whatever, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And at one point it was literally I just had Disney Plus and Hulu because I enjoy Hulu. Kids love Disney. It works. We're good. I'm like, do I really need ESPN Plus? Probably not. But then there were a couple of Gator games that weren't on TV. I'm like, all right, I'll up the subscription. It wasn't that much more. I got the 3. I'm fine.
NFL primetime too.
NFL primetime moving there, yes. But now there's ESPN Plus, and then there's a tier above it, which is very confusing for the consumer. The consumer wants to understand, I push one button, I get whatever the hell it is I'm supposed to watch. They do not fully understand how ESPN Unlimited is necessarily acquired, if you need to bundle it, if it's a separate purchase on its own, if it's included with certain people's cable and certain people's not. So the fact that it's so hard to be able to just watch the WWE events is an issue. And I think that's why the first hour of WrestleMania is on ESPN proper, so that they can kind of slowly R-Truth explain it like they did on SmackDown, where he's walking through a number of talent who don't get used otherwise on TV. Hey, Angel Garza, let me explain to you how to download and watch the ESPN WWE PLE. That's also not a great sign.
No.
That being said, the women's chamber match was fine.
It was good. I liked it.
It wasn't a bad match. Yeah.
I liked the match. No, I thought they really showcased Raquel Rodriguez big time in there. Kiana James had a highlight, I think, of a match in there too. So it's like, and it speaks to the level of talent that you do have on the roster too, but also to your point, rushing it all together at the same time. So yes, Robert.
Little rough. Next up was AJ and Becky.
Yes.
What did you think of that decision?
Confusing to me. I don't know. I guess it makes sense, but I don't know. I think I don't understand putting the title on the line with this at all at any point, and where you're going with this. What's next? What's next with this match? I'm just kind of a head scratcher for me, Robert. What do you think about this decision? AJ won, by the way, everybody.
AJ won. So now you have to beat AJ.
Yes.
This match felt like it belonged in WrestleMania, if that was the story you were going to tell. It felt like we were going to get to a 4-way with the two of them, Maxine and Natty.
Yes.
Another multi-person match on this WrestleMania where they really just are like, just keep throwing matches at this. Wade Barrett said something when AJ was coming down to the ring that sort of damned this match almost immediately. I've had a singles match more recently than AJ Lee. Don't love putting that in the brain. The match itself was okay.
Yeah.
You also didn't need the happy ending because you were giving the crowd a Punk win. You were giving the crowd a Rhea win, and you were giving the crowd a Randy Orton win. You absolutely could have had a DQ, a count out, a cheap finish, a belt shot, something where Becky keeps that title.
For sure. Absolutely, you could have. Yeah, I don't know. Will they do like some sort of gimmick match for WrestleMania? Like maybe ladder match, Intercontinental ladder match?
I think it'll be a 4-way.
I think it'll be a 4-way. Okay.
I think they're going to save the ladder match for another spot. I would use it for the women's tag titles, but that's just me.
Yeah. Don't know, Robert. It'll be interesting. I
hope it's interesting because I got to sit through and watch this nonsense.
Yes, we had a world title match, Robert. Was that the next one?
That was the next one. Yes.
CM Punk versus Finn Balor. CM Punk retains after a long match, but I thought a good match, Robert. Crowd was into it. Obviously, Punk being the hometown hero. And I thought and then we had a little handshake at the end, too. So what did you think of this bout, Robert?
Killed by their booking.
Okay. Explain.
The idea that they already announced the Roman Reigns CM Punk match made this a lame duck match. No one in the United Center, no one in the blacked out general Chicago area who couldn't hold viewing parties elsewhere in a non-sold out show
just crazy
believed that Finn Balor was going to win this title. So the audience didn't bite on this as hard as they would have. They didn't believe false finishes. They didn't take the ride. It was, well, this is a very good match, but we know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody thinks James Bond is dying in the opening act. Nobody thought that CM Punk was going to lose to Finn Balor and lose the title here at the Elimination Chamber. And when you have zero narrative drama, it ain't that fun to watch.
I was just intrigued because I like both guys. But
that's the thing. It's good, but and I was talking about this yesterday with one of the talents. There's a difference between people who show up to a wrestling show to watch wrestling and people who show up to a sports entertainment show to see sports entertainment.
Yes.
The people who live and die and love wrestling are the ones who go Andrade versus Bandito. There's no story. I don't care. I'm going to watch Andrade versus Bandito. A sports entertainment fan, I need a little something to get invested in. Like,
Sure.
why am I watching this match beyond this should be a good match? And it was a very good match. Finn did great. Punk did great. Zero narrative tension.
This is a quick off the side question. Legal matters. I'm always curious when Punk wears themed attire, whether that has logos and stuff on it. Is that passable to do? Like, or does WWE run into some hurdles when it comes to because he had the Chicago Blackhawks theme and the logo was on there. So I was kind of curious how that kind of works out, Robert, from a legal standpoint.
Well, the music theme, it was the Bulls theme, but they licensed the music. That's fine. You can license that. As far as logo usage, they probably asked permission from the league in that instance. They're not just going to let the guy go out there and wear officially branded anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not going to run afoul of that.
Okay.
Cammy Star brings up an interesting point here. It said Chamber shouldn't have championship matches. So I go into this a little bit in depth with Scott, but the gist of it is Punk didn't work the Rumble. So they felt like we need to get a Punk match between January and Mania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there we were. So,
well, you know what? I to the point too, I think it does enhance Punk's title reign having these types of matches, because they did tell the story of the fact that Punk is a defending champion and he's been doing it pretty darn consistently for the most part too. So I kind of liked that aspect of it.
But the audience is too smart for its own good, because now the audience just knows, well, with the TKO earnings call, and we have WrestleMania coming on, they're not going to take the title off of CM Punk. It's gonna stay on him. That's where it's a little frustrating that we peel back the curtain so much that people are looking at this under way too many extra layers. So there was no way to just sit back and enjoy the story.
Right. Yep. Speaks to this organization here, to the build of WrestleMania.
But next up, they opened a box.
They did open a box. A couple boxes, actually.
Dom, right? What did I say was going to happen?
You said Danhausen was going to show up.
And how did I say that crowd was going to respond to Danhausen showing up?
Not very receptive.
And what happened?
The crowd was not very receptive.
Very stupid.
Danhausen.
Very evil. That was that booking.
With a bunch of ladies painted like him. And he came out, gave Michael Cole some teeth, and then stood in the ring. And then the lights went out. He was gone. We like Danhausen as an act, or at least I do. I think you don't like him as an act. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
So explain, Robert. Give your take.
I am all for let me up segments, interstitial acts that are comedic in nature, entertaining, or enliven the show. Last night at the BRCW show, Frank the Clown was there. He was part of it. Frank is a perfect example. He knows his lane. He knows his role. He knows how to enhance and do what it is that he needs to do. Danhausen, from what I've rumored, innuendo, kind of not a wrestling fan, is a guy who uses wrestling in order to elevate his own image elsewhere, which for me feels very much akin to the divas of the early 2000s who did the diva search. And like, this is going to project me into Maxim or a reality show or what have you. The fact that they used this box to continue to build it up, I said was going to wind up being a letdown, because there's a part of the audience that doesn't know who Danhausen is.
Sure.
They don't watch AEW. That's not me. I feel like Becky Lynch. Like, that's not me saying it. Other people say it. The ratings say it. Raw does 3 million. Dynamite does 1 million. So there's 2 million people who aren't watching Dynamite every single week. Danhausen was also not consistently used and then vanished for a year.
Yeah.
So he has no association to WWE programming. The WWE only audience doesn't necessarily know who Danhausen is. Those who do know who Danhausen is, oh, this is going to be cute. It's going to be fun. But they spent 3 weeks of TV time building up this box for it to be that. And Cole immediately burying it was how you knew, like, all right, this didn't work.
Yeah, listen, this is a side thing. Cole, he really doesn't help matters at all.
Been saying this for 25 years.
Yes. when it comes to anything. Calling the matches, there's some moments that should have little bit more gravitas to him, and he doesn't bring it to it. He doesn't bring it to it. And so, I mean, I think, yeah, obviously Danhausen gets booed, all that kind of thing. I do think there's some entertainment aspect to it all that you can really apply and make it work. I think Danhausen is kind of funny enough to get some things across, but you really have to be selective, and you have to pick and choose those moments to make it work. So I don't think necessarily him getting booed out of the building, unless it really affects the creative behind the scenes aspect of it all, they make that affect it. I think if they just ride what they're doing, stick with the game plan, if they have one with him, then stick with it, and it could potentially work. But yeah, not a good start.
I would have rather gone with Mr. Iguana, who the gimmick works, crowd likes him, it sells merch, he can work. Go with that guy. You already have R-Truth, and R-Truth is kind of the gold standard of, we need somebody to, like, how do we get out of this segment? I don't know. We turn it, and there's just R-Truth.
Yeah.
The amount of time it's going to take to explain what Danhausen is and work him into WWE programming when we are less than 2 months away from WrestleMania, I would be, if I'm Hunter, I'm furious that anybody in creative is spending any point in time whatsoever thinking about Danhausen now, because Danhausen isn't going to sell a WrestleMania ticket. He's not going to elevate a WrestleMania match. He's not going to really kind of do anything at the moment. When you hit the lulls, when it's June and July and you got to pop a segment, yeah, let's throw Danhausen out there and do something wacky and fun and different. This isn't the time of year to be experimenting.
And I could very much see him getting kind of disregarded on the program. Like, oh, big debut. Well, here's Danhausen promoting Papa John's. That's what we're going to maybe get.
Right. Which, by the way, is like, that was where you had New Day for quite some time.
Yeah. Yes.
I just think there's people on the roster that could use even that slot instead of just going straight with Danhausen. We'll see. I clearly hate fun. What'd you think of the main event, Tom? Get the panic button. Get the panic button.
Hit the panic button, indeed. Indeed, Robert. Seth Rollins returns. Cost Logan Paul his chance at winning Elimination Chamber, but ultimately it's Randy Orton who walks out the victor. And right as of now, we have Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton for the title at WrestleMania. Robert, panic button, right?
Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. CM Punk versus Gunther. Beat that drum since September. Are you honestly telling me right now, where we sit March 2nd, 2026, what they are doing is better than what I've been pushing for 6 months?
No. As a whole, no.
Punk has a lame duck match against Finn Balor that was a great match but didn't do anything. Now we're finally getting Roman Reigns showing up on Raw tonight. Drew, whom I love and consider a genuine actual friend.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, whom I've known for 21 years. The idea that anybody thinks that they would do Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania is ludicrous, which is baffling because that is a huge match. Yeah. But that was not at all the plan. And the audience feels when it's artificial and it's not the plan. My guess, I know there's people saying there's going to be a 5-way that would involve Randy, Drew, Cody, Fatu, and Sami Zayn. I think right now, what as painful as it, what makes the most sense, triple threat, Drew, Cody, and Orton. And then Sami is revealed as the guy who took out Jacob Fatu's teeth all those months ago, and we go full heel Sami Zayn, and we do Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu in a personal match. It's the best option. You can't take Randy out of the match.
No.
You can't have the Elimination Chamber finish and then take out the guy who is the number one contender for the Elimination Chamber. That, like, I get there's a panic button. That's not a panic button. That's a panic siren that, like, shakes your house and breaks windows.
It's like WWE went to push the panic button, but they panicked in pushing the panic button and then pushed the wrong button.
They've overthought this. They've overthought this tenfold.
Yes.
And you can't do a 5-way, bro, because you got to pin 4 people. or you're getting one pin and then everything is totally just off the rails and out of just out of whack. So
Armageddon Hell in a Cell. That's what's going down.
good Lord. Yes, bring Rikishi back, push him off the top.
Yes, make it happen.
I know they're doing Drew and Cody on Friday for the title.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There is always a possibility that they just go total thermonuclear panic and put the title on Cody.
I think that's what's going to happen, Robert.
But here's the problem, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Dom, you ignorant slut. Both your WrestleMania main events are babyface.
Yeah. I guess. At this point, it is, right?
Randy and Cody is the best match.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shortchange Drew and take him out of the world title picture.
You don't, but...
So you got to put Drew in there. Otherwise, Drew is damaged goods forever. This is his moment and push, and he's been killing it, by the way.
He has been. He's been great.
Sammy being all strong sad, and I want to be champion. Having it be revealed that he was the one behind the Fatu stuff all along, bails them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all they got. We're not going to know anything going on the SmackDown side, but we do know for Raw tonight, a couple things lined up.
A couple things indeed, Robert. We got, like you said earlier, Roman Reigns is returning. We do have an Intercontinental Championship match.
I want to point out, Dom with his phrasing, Roman Reigns returns, yet CM Punk appearing live.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Didn't even lawyered.
We do have the Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio, the champ, going up against Penta. All right.
Why'd your voice go up there?
I don't know. I just really wanted to say Penta. Then we have Gunther taking on Dragon Lee. Wow. All right. They've been building this one, Robert.
They have, and it makes sense that we're getting this match here because I guess we're getting Gunther and Ray at Mania, so this is the way we're getting to it.
I guess. Not intriguing.
Putting his career on the line. Gunther just single-handedly takes out the Attitude Era and everything subsequent.
Yep. Don't like it, Robert.
I mean, it's fine. It's something. Again, the squandering of Gunther continues to be baffling.
Absolutely. I think. Well, that's my big take on all this. It's just a squandering of what you're doing after he beat John Cena. He retired John Cena, and not making the most of it. We have AJ Lee will also be appearing. That's CM Punk's wife. She's the new Intercontinental.
Get out of town.
Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
Well, don't worry too, because Seth Rollins, that situation is going to get addressed by Raw General Manager Adam Pearce.
Well, I'm curious just how healthy Seth Rollins actually is.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can go and do the curb stomp, but he can't do too much else.
Mainly because I don't, again, I understand, like, hey, they panicked and they absolutely needed to rush to put someone from the Vision into this match.
Sure.
So it was like, all right, we'll just go with Logan. And then we bring Seth in to do the curb stomp. But even the phrasing of this, Seth Rollins is not projected to be on Raw. What exactly does it say?
Adam Pearce will address the Seth Rollins situation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like Seth will be there. Hey, somebody that will be at the Hall of Fame, Robert, are your boys. The Demolition Axe and Smash.
Here comes the Axe. Here comes the Smasher. The Demolition. Natural disaster.
Yeah.
We used to have to replace that song because of lawsuits all the time on WWE programming. Didn't have the rights to it because all the Demolition lawsuits and all the issues and problems. We used to not be allowed to show Demolition. I had to try to cut them out of programming because they had sued the company. So I'm thrilled that Axe and Smash are going to be there. They didn't announce that Crush is part of it.
No, they didn't. Oh, that's
so maybe it's a way to sneak Crush in, which I wouldn't be too upset about. I know kids might Google them, but I'm all for it. The only thing I care about is how nice Axe's hair will be.
That's the key component. Congratulations to Barry Darso and Beth.
Wrestling Old Head says no Undertaker announcement for Demolition. That's actually how they found out. It was a Zoom call. It's up on the internet. Go check it out. It's quite hilarious because I do not think that they knew that they were going to be told that, because the angle that they are both at It is not the most flattering.
No.
They need to learn from us. And you know how they can learn, Dom? By watching us every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on, dare I say, a plethora of platforms, including the WWE Creative _ISH X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, and on the YouTubes on Podcast Heat and Studio One Sports. So on behalf of the demolition in my life, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, I wear leather, everybody.
Shh.